Hi everyone, this is your host Tyson, and today we are going to discuss the three main commodities that are almost essential in our daily life. And before we start our deep dive, I would like to request my viewers to show support by subscribing my channel. So let's go to our video. On the top of list comes the coffee. This morning, 2.5 billion cups of coffee were consumed around the world. But what if tomorrow there were none? We take it for granted. We've always taken it for granted, but the truth, and I think the terrifying, inconvenient truth, is that coffee is disappearing faster than you think. This episode, we put your world to the test. 3 commodities, 3 challenges, 1 question. Are you ready? Let's talk about coffee. And I don't mean your morning routine, I mean the global machine that makes your morning routine possible. Coffee is the second most traded commodity on Earth. Right after oil, it employs over 175 million people worldwide, and here's the kicker. Climate change is destroying it. By 2050, half of the land currently used for coffee farming will be gone, not reduced. Gone. The Arabica bean, which makes up about 60% of global coffee supply, is incredibly sensitive to temperature. A 2-degree rise in average temperatures can wipe out entire growing regions. We've already seen this in Ethiopia, Vietnam, Colombia. So when people ask what if it ran out tomorrow, that's not science fiction. It's a projection. Not for tomorrow, but the trajectory is real. And the window to act is closing, and in the list, number 2, is avocados, the internet's favourite food. But here's what the internet doesn't tell you. Growing one single avocado requires 320 litres of water. One avocado. For context, that's the same amount of water most people in drought-affected regions of Kenya have access to in a month. And yet we've created a global economy built on smashing them on toast. My grandfather grew corn on his land. My father grew corn. When the avocado boom started, everyone switched. It was money. But now the water table is dropping. We drill deeper every year. And some years we get nothing. What happens if the water runs out? We've already had villages near here with no water. They buy water from trucks, bottled water, to shower, to cook. Also, people in California can have guacamole. And on the number 3 is lithium, the invisible backbone of the modern world. And then there's this, lithium. You can't see it, you can't taste it, but without it, none of this works. Your phone, your laptop, your EV, the grid-scale batteries storing solar and wind energy, all of it runs on lithium. And here's the problem. We're racing toward a shortage that no one is talking about loudly enough. By 2030, demand for lithium is expected to increase by over 400%. We simply do not have the mining infrastructure, the refining capacity, or the supply chain to meet that demand. The EV revolution is real, but it's built on an assumption of lithium availability that may not hold. And if it doesn't hold, you get rationing, price spikes, supply chain wars. Countries that control lithium deposits, Chile, Argentina, Australia, China, become the new OPEC. Okay, here's where it gets real. We asked 12 ordinary people to give up one commodity for 72 hours. No coffee, no avocados, no devices that run on lithium batteries. And we followed them every step of the way. Caffeine dependence is medically recognised. Over 50% of regular coffee drinkers experience withdrawal symptoms within 12 to 24 hours of stopping. Headaches, fatigue, irritability, difficulty concentrating. Now imagine not one person, but 2.5 billion people going through this simultaneously, on day 1. The avocado industry is worth over $13 billion globally, but its human cost, particularly its water cost, falls almost entirely on communities in Mexico, Peru, and Chile, who often have no say in how their land and water is used. Here's the thing about lithium. Its absence wouldn't just inconvenience students, it would collapse the energy transition entirely. Every solar panel needs battery storage, every wind turbine. Without lithium, the green revolution doesn't happen. Here's what keeps economists up at night. It's not just about one commodity disappearing, it's about what disappears with it. Coffee disappears, the productivity of 800 million workers drops. Cafes close. Entire economies built around coffee tourism. Think Colombia, Ethiopia, Vietnam, collapse overnight. The coffee supply chain employs more people than the population of Germany. Farmers, pickers, processors, exporters, shippers, roasters, baristas. These aren't just jobs, they're the economic backbone of entire nations. And avocados? The avocado market is smaller, but the water crisis it's fueling in Latin America has downstream effects on food security across the entire region. When water runs out in a farming community, people don't just stop growing avocados, they stop farming entirely. Then they migration. And lithium. Lithium is the one that should keep every government on Earth awake. The entire energy transition, solar, wind, EVs, grid storage, depends on it. If supply can't meet demand, we either delay the transition and accelerate climate change, or we accept geopolitical conflict over mining rights. Neither option is good. They say lithium mining is green because it makes EV batteries. But here, the lithium sits under our water. They pump the water out. They extract the lithium. And our water, it is gone. The flamingos are leaving. The plants are dying. Green for whom? The bitter irony of the green energy transition, that it depends on an extraction process that devastates local ecosystems and communities, is one of the defining moral tensions of our era. Now let's talk about the solution. So what can actually be done? Let's be honest, we're not here to make you feel hopeless. We're here to make you pay attention, because paying attention is the first step. For coffee, there are shade-grown and climate-resilient farming programs already working in Ethiopia and Colombia. Buying certified sustainable coffee actually funds these programs. It's not a perfect solution, but it's a real one. We're also seeing promising research into heat-tolerant coffee varieties and rewilding projects that restore forest cover, which moderates local temperature, around coffee farms. Change is possible, but it requires consumer pressure and policy change together. For avocados, the answer isn't to stop eating them entirely, it's to eat them differently, seasonally, locally where possible, and to support policy that holds corporations accountable for the water use in their supply chains. There are already water-efficient avocado farming techniques in development, and some retailers in Europe are beginning to source only from certified water-responsible farms. And lithium, this one is the most complex, because the solution isn't just better mining, it's rethinking the entire system. Battery recycling, sodium-ion batteries, and which don't need lithium at all, solid-state batteries that use far less, and crucially, longer product lifespans. The average person replaces their smartphone every 2.5 years. If that number went to 5 years, lithium demand drops dramatically. The most powerful thing an individual can do is extend the life of the devices they already own. Don't upgrade unless you have to. Recycle your old devices properly, and support legislation that requires manufacturers to make devices repairable. Right to repair. It sounds boring, but it might be one of the most important commodity conservation policies of this decade. The coffee we drink, the avocados we smash, the lithium in our pockets. None of it exists in a vacuum. All of it has a cost paid by farmers, by communities, by water tables, by futures that haven't happened yet. You don't have to give it all up, but you should know where it comes from, and you should care that it might not always be there. Host VO. Next time, we go deeper. Water, wheat, the metals in your earrings, your car, your city's infrastructure. The commodities you've never even heard of, that hold everything together. Don't miss it. Share this video. Tag someone who needs to see it. Use "what if it ran out"